Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is Sunday night here at 9 o'clock, time for the First Alert Weather Show at 9. I'm watching your comments on the 14 News Facebook page, so if you have anything you want to get off your chest, you can put it there and we will read those and share them here in just a couple minutes. Well, it's kind of a dark old night out there. We've had just kind of showers trying to get in here most of the day. They arrived, of course, just before sunset this evening, and that's what we're watching here, at least for the next few days. Rain continuing off and on through Thursday. Heaviest rain probably on Wednesday, and then tapering off on Thursday. We will get a break in the cloudy weather with sunshine returning on Friday. However, it will be short-lived as we may see more rain spilling in here by the weekend, next weekend. There's the rain now. We've kind of had waves of it going up. That first shot came through right around 6 o'clock or so, and now this second round is coming up very slowly. And I will tell you, there's just not a whole lot that has fallen out there. In fact, let's see here, we'll just do a 24-hour rainfall. I think anywhere on here that you see blue, we're generally looking at around 1/10 of an inch of rain, if that. So it hasn't been particularly a soaker, other than the fact if you're outside or trying to do some leaf raking or yard work or whatever, stirring the burgoo, it's still going to be just damp out there, and that will continue through tonight. We have most of the Evansville area, at least here around Evansville and Newburgh, is somewhat dry, but more showers and rain will be moving in. No thunder. We don't have the right dynamics, the right recipe in the atmosphere for thunder at all this week, and that just means it's going to be plain old rain. And maybe a lot of it on Wednesday, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Later in the week, you see Friday there, we zeroed out the rain chances, but then we get clouds and occasional showers returning for the weekend. So system number one kind of moving through now. We will take a short intermission Tuesday. We may get through most of the daylight hours Tuesday without rain. However, this next low pressure and cold front will kind of get us coming and going. We get rain ahead of it here in the warm sector, and then as it comes down into the Tennessee Valley, we get the backside of it there. So wraparound rain and clouds, and then finally that low will lift back up into New England on Friday and pull back the curtain there on the sun, at least for Friday. But then by the weekend you see more clouds and even some rain moving in there by Sunday and Monday. Our rain potential, the GFS is advertising around 2 inches of rain total. That's a whole week's worth, by the way. And that number will go back and forth as well, but it does promise to be a soaker this week. And as I said off the bat, they're chilly too, mid-50s Wednesday, Thursday for the highs, and lows then will drop all the way back down into the upper 30s there by the end of the weekend. Most of the central plains through the Ohio, Tennessee valleys have the same weather right now. We have that cloud shield over it and rain falling. So that kind of levels the playing field for the temperature. And so you're not going to see a lot of variety on any of these maps, particularly here in the tri-state, where our reporting stations are real close together, just a couple degrees from the warmest to the coolest, all right around 55. We did hit 63 today after we dropped down to 49 this morning, and that means that today, 63 among the coolest days that we've had so far this month. It was 62 yesterday and 62 Thursday, but we've made that turn now into genuine fall, early November weather. So for the rain, I haven't totaled it yet for the day because we're not done yet, but we've had about 1/10 of an inch at Evansville Regional. And of course, we're still well above normal on rainfall for the month, and still a bit warmer too, despite these cool days. The drought monitor should improve a little more even next week. We still have portions of southern Illinois classified with moderate drought and abnormally dry up here around Poseyville and Gibson County. Those were areas that didn't get in on those heavy thunderstorms and rain last weekend. Mid-50s tomorrow for the high with clouds and rain out there. The stronger thunderstorms tried to get going today around Louisiana and Mississippi, but even that energy is sort of petering out right now, and not a whole lot will change with that. We are watching a tropical system here, major hurricane now, Melissa at Category 4. 145 mile per hour winds. This is Jamaica right here that's circled in red. And the latest forecast takes Melissa across Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. And then over the eastern tip of Cuba, right here through the strait between Cuba and Haiti, and then straight out across the Bahamas, weakening rapidly as it enters the Atlantic basin. So there will be a lot of widespread destruction there in Jamaica as a result of that major or catastrophic hurricane. Looking ahead, for us, we have clouds and of course that next system dropping in, bringing a little more rain beginning late Tuesday night, continuing through Wednesday morning and afternoon and evening. And this is a closer look at it. You see kind of the banding effect with the rain that we're having here early in the week, and then just more of a straight up green blob coming in here on Wednesday and raining pretty much throughout the day on Thursday. The European model and the GFS give us that clearing on late Thursday and Friday. And the European not really advertising much rain until Sunday, and it has it pushed a little farther to the south with kind of intermittent clouds then on Monday. And its rainfall total, again for the 7 days here, right at an inch, nearly half of what the GFS was showing. And these two models often will have a discrepancy like that. So I'm thinking, you know, the European around an inch seems reasonable for the week. I think the 2 inch would be high end and would depend on if we were to get heavier or training rain areas on Wednesday. But, you know, if without thunderstorms, that's probably not going to happen. We could see thunder on Wednesday, but right now it's just looking like plain old rain, especially with those temperatures in the mid-50s. So light rain overnight, 50 degrees, and then up to about 56 tomorrow. You'll need a jacket, well, of course, a rain jacket, but just it'll be kind of that, you know, cold that penetrates this week. We do have a jack-o'-lantern still here on Friday for Halloween, and we're hoping for sunny skies out there for everybody. Over the weekend, or over the next 10 days, we have near normal temperatures and less than the average amount of rainfall. And we have a repeat pet pick there. I think I showed this one Thursday. This was Sarah. Oh, let me get that back here. I don't know if you can see that. My computer might be blocking it. But we have, was it Sasha? Yeah, Sasha Morrow and her dog there enjoying some birthday treats. All dogs deserve birthday treats, don't you think? All right, let me see if you have any questions here. And we will get to that directly. All right, I got to go back to the, there we go. Well, there we are. We got a few people in there this evening. All right, so here are the questions for this evening. Jeanette Rice, last Sunday, Poseyville had terrible strong windstorm. Yeah, we had damaging winds up your way, as you know, Jeanette, with those early morning thunderstorms on Sunday. Had a farmer send me a picture of his combining his corn, and it had all been flattened from the wind. William Raleigh has 1/10 of an inch of rain. That's in line with that everybody else had. Jessica Halsney, trunk or treat has been in the drizzle all day, yesterday and today. I know, nothing sadder than a wet ghost coming to your door out there to your trunk. And Zach is glad we're not getting severe weather. Me too. Okay, and we have our usual folks in there. Cheyenne Hammonds is in. Good evening, Cheyenne. Suzanne Daly's on. And let's see here. Field trip might get canceled tomorrow, Jessica says. Well, yeah, if it's outdoors, well, you know, of course they'll have to make that call early. We will likely have rain in the morning and then a gap during the day. Deborah wants to know what our winter forecast looks like. We are going to release the official 14 First Alert Winter Outlook on November the 6th. We're doing a 20-year look back at commemoration of the November 6th tornado on that night. So we have some historic pieces on that, and then we're going to look ahead to the winter forecast. So and our whole weather team will be on it. Byron and I will talk about the November 6th tornado. We were both here, of course, when that happened. And then Arden and Michael are going to handle the winter side of things and a lot of cool weather stuff you won't want to miss. Casey Allen Well, I'm not sure what that has to do with the weather here, but anyway, maybe you're on the wrong page. All right, so let's do a real quick question. You know, the question came up Thursday. Why haven't the leaves changed yet? So Friday, I went out to Wesselman Woods and talked to a real nice guy out there, and I'm blanking on his name right now. It was Walsh, Derek Walsh, who was the naturalist. You know, he's in charge out there, and you know, we talked about that, and he said essentially that, you know, the leaves typically don't hit their peak until around Halloween, so a week from now. And I asked, you know, if the recent weather that we'd had had any impact on it. And we really couldn't come up with anything other than we've had a lot of sunny days. And the reason that we get color in the fall is that there's less light, right? The days get shorter, for one thing. And so the leaves are green because they produce chlorophyll. And when we get shorter days, they produce less chlorophyll, and then all these other colors start to come out that are in the leaf. And so it's possible that because we've had so much sunshine here in October, that, you know, maybe it delayed it a little bit. This is just kind of a theory that I came up with. And again, Derek, you'll have to see his response in full, but to paraphrase, you know, he was just saying, we're getting a little impatient here, it'll come. And of course, the leaves will change. I think most people want to know if we're going to have a real brilliant fall, or if it's just going to kind of be a dull, muted one and the leaves fall off without much fanfare. And this week will be the key. So if we get to Friday and it's still kind of blah, then yeah, maybe it's just going to be a dull fall. But I think we'll make the turn this week, especially with all this cloudiness and rain out there. The leaves, as I said, change color because the chlorophyll production stops, and then all these other compounds come through. So you have anthocyanin, carotene, and xanthophyll, which are the red, orange, and yellow colors then that become apparent once the green goes away. And that should begin to happen in earnest here, I think, this week with these cloudy days. So that's the best I can do for you on that question. And again, we'll have the full, the interview that I did with him, we'll have that on Arden Show tomorrow on First Alert midday, so you can check that out. And maybe I'll post it here on my page after it's run on the air. I appreciate you watching tonight. Try to stay dry this week, and I'll see you tomorrow night here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9, and after the football game here on 14 News. Have a good night. Stay safe.